views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hello and welcome to Open University from our BronxNet East Studios at Mercy College, where we keep you in the loop on current discussions in and around the community. My name is Lindsay Violet and I'll be your host for today's show. Today we will hear from a former plastic surgeon from the Jacoby Medical Center's burn unit to discuss this new innovation involving prosthetics and 3D printing. This is an amazing summit that you definitely don't want to miss. Plus, we'll hear from a former employee of the Bronx Chamber of Commerce who left his job to start a business of his own. Marcus Payne will sit with us to discuss why and how he decided to venture out on his own. Marcus is well known to the BronxNet community, so we'll look forward to speaking with him. So stay tuned and don't miss this new episode of Open University. Hello everyone, I'm your host Lindsay Violet. An extraordinary technique using 3D printing is changing lives quickly and affordably at Jacoby Hospital in the Morris Park section of the Bronx, thanks to doctors like plastic surgeon and burn fellow Dr. Cesar Calasante. Here to discuss this new and effective technique, please welcome Dr. Cesar Calasante. Welcome.
Thank you for having me over. It's a pleasure to be here and sharing our work with your audience.
Oh, thank you. So can you give us a little background on yourself and tell us why you decided to become a doctor?
Of course. I come from Venezuela, and that's where I went to medical school. Before coming here to Jacoby, I was a general surgery resident at Yale in New Haven. And in regards to my career, there's multiple factors in why I decided to take on this profession. But I think the biggest factor of it all was my upbringing, especially the example my mother set. She's a very kind and devoted woman to others. She always taught us very well. When we were very young, my brother and I, we used to live in an apartment complex, and in the parking area there would be a lot of people that would sleep there and live there because they had nowhere to go. Every morning, my mom would make tea and cookies and sandwiches and have us go down there and give them breakfast before we went to school.
Yes, nice.
It can be a little intimidating when you're that young, but it teaches you to not look the other way and see the person inside and see beyond the external appearance. She also devoted her time to volunteer in the hospital where I trained, especially with children with chronic diseases that the parents had abandoned or they had to work all the time, so the kids lived in the hospital. She would go there and arrange plans so they would go to the park and, eat different foods, that hamburgers and pizzas they would never have in the hospital.
Oh,
so
wow,
have
that's really nice.
a different life. And she's very kind, devoted to all living things.
So your mom influenced you in a way?
A lot. And even to the fact that she would go out and there's a stray dog and the dog comes home, and we take care of it, we treat it. So we try to be nurturing, to love everything. And I take that from her. I see my patients as my friends, as my family. And it makes it a lot easier in a stressful environment and long working hours when you're working as a physician. Either people you're caring for or people you care about.
That's good. So can you tell us about your new innovative technique to use 3D printing?
3D printing has been around for a while. It is now becoming more popular and it's less expensive, so it's definitely becoming more popular, as I said. I can't take credit for being the first one using 3D printing for prosthetics. I believe it was probably Enable. I have to give them credit. There's a big company, nonprofit, that makes excellent designs, body power prosthetics.
Okay.
And as the Greek philosopher Plato said, necessity is the mother of invention. We needed prosthetics either for children that they outgrow their prosthetics very quickly. So you can't make a new one every 6 months. It's expensive and time consuming, and it usually takes a couple of months to get it back. So by the time you get it, they're actually outgrown the prosthetic. At the same time, sometimes you need specific prosthetics for a patient, and you don't have that, so you have to create a new one. Or in some cases, insurance is not paying for you at the moment, or they're not ready. So that's where we came up with this. Jacoby obtained the 3D printer, and I do the 3D designs. I've been working.
For those that may not know, can you tell them how 3D printing works?
Yes.
Because a lot of people might not know.
Yes. 3D printing can be complex because it's a very broad spectrum of technologies. I actually recently had a paper published explaining a little bit about the technologies being used. There's a little bit of everything, but the basic one we're using here is with the PLA, polylactic acid, which is a plastic, or ABS, and it basically puts layer over layer of the plastics. So it melts it, it puts it, it dries, it photocures it, so it means there's a light that seals it, and then there's another layer that goes on top of it.
How long does that take?
It depends. This one can take about 3-4 hours to make.
Okay.
If you make a bigger one and you have to make multiple parts, it can take a lot of time. It also depends on the machine.
Oh, okay. So this is a prosthetic right here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This is very interesting. This is actually a robotic arm that we're making. It's for a boy that has no elbows and obviously nothing below, so just the upper arms. And this is a part that's 3D printed. We're using sort of a pre-made robotic arm that you can actually buy most of the parts on Amazon, and we modified some of the things, and we're using this to connect it to the upper arm so that he'll be able to grab food and feed himself, which is the main concern right now, that he can't feed himself.
That's awesome. That's really good. Can you tell us about the girl that you helped, one of the girls that you helped?
Yeah, that was very emotional. I actually cried a little bit, which I'm ashamed of saying it.
Why are you ashamed?
Yeah.
It's a good thing that you did.
Yeah, it was beautiful. She came in with this oversized sweater, hiding her hand. She could barely just between her, she only had the thumb, so she could only pinch between her thumb and the palm of the hand a piece of paper or a folder. And she decided which color she wanted, so she liked the color. It was actually matched the sweater that she had. She put the hand on, and we're thinking, oh, she's gonna need therapy, she's gonna need to learn how to use it. She turns around and grabs a bottle of water right off the counter.
Away.
And she's like, oh, look. So that was very emotional. That was very good.
That was really nice. So is there anything in the future that you feel like that you might go further with prosthetics? Yes.
So there's a lot of things going on with 3D printing and prosthetics, and also bioprosthetics. Although 3D printing organs is something that everyone's really excited about, and I think it's going to be very, very important. I'm really excited about bionics, which is a combination of robotics into the human being. My philosophy is not trying to make someone look like you want them to look. So let's say they don't have a hand and you want them to have a hand. It might not be functional, but it looks like a hand and everyone's happy because it looks like a hand. I want them to be empowered and be able to do what they want. So if you're a painter, let's do something for you that allows you to paint. You're a climber, let's make something that allows you to climb so you can be empowered and potentially be superhuman.
That's awesome. That's good. So when did it hit you that, this is something big, this is something that is changing my life, changing other people's life? When did it hit you?
Well, I've been working with 3D modeling for a very long time. I started when I was 12, 13 actually doing 3D modeling. But 3D printing, as soon as I became aware of the technology, I thought you can pretty much make anything. It's just a matter of what materials you use and what technique you use to make it. So you can potentially make anything in the long run.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank you for coming, because I think this is really good for the Bronx, and the fact that it's affordable. Can you shed a little bit about that as well before we close out? Because I think a lot of people should know that.
Right. Right now, there's no charge. It doesn't even go through insurance or anything. We're starting the project. It's sort of experimental phase and trying to apply it. And we've been lucky enough to have funds come to us that we haven't had a need to charge anything. For small parts or for a specific patient, it's definitely more affordable to make this, which this piece can be probably $15, $20. And this is a thumb splint.
Okay.
Someone that doesn't have a thumb or supple thumb where they can't really pinch,
Okay.
you need the pinch for everything. You're gonna zipper up your pants after the bathroom, you wanna grab something, you have a floppy thumb, you can't do that. With this, $15 we make it, you put it over here, and you put your thumb in it, so you'll basically be able to pinch and still feel, you still have the sensation on the tip of the thumb.
That's just so good. That's so great. So where can people go to get more information about this?
So I'm stationed at Jacoby,
Okay.
but we do have a webpage. I don't know if they can put
You
that
can
into-
look straight to the camera.
Okay. It's Colasantech, which is going to be KOLASANTECH.com. It's just starting, but you can contact us through there for any specific projects or anything that you want us to do.
Well, again, thank you so much for coming and talking about this. Like I said, this is very big for the Bronx. So thank you again for coming.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you for joining us so much. Now let's take a look as BronxNet and now business owner Marcus Payne kicks off his new venture. Nancy Asiyama has a story.
It's unusual to mix fun, art, and entertainment with politics, but one organization pulled it off.
Tonight's event is going to be a great opportunity to bring together music, art, fun, entertainment, and politics. And we put them together in a nice venue right here in the Bronx, Central 608. This is a black-owned restaurant. One thing that I really like about it, located right here in the heart of Fordham Road.
As the former operations manager for the Bronx Chamber of Commerce, Payne's idea for this event was to create comfortable conversations about the upcoming presidential election without the expected tension, and to also promote black businesses in the borough he loves so much.
The political cycle is such a serious topic that a lot of times we forget to have a good time in the process. And I think that, be it as it may, as long as we all exercise our right to vote, we can have a good time while celebrating what's going to happen for our future of our country.
With politics being a serious and sensitive topic in our community, these artists found a unique way to make a connection with your work.
This is predominantly a black and a Latino community, so I think it's always important to go back to the roots.
Some of my jokes that I talk about on politics, it makes you think. I'm not saying to vote for this person or vote for that person, but it makes you think about these candidates a little bit better. Like, wait, are they really for me or are they really just for themselves?
Although politics, art, and entertainment were on the menu, it was also the time to celebrate the life of Jeff Rothels, who teamed up with Payne to bring this event to life.
We have a lot of different ideas coming up as far as enriching our youth through things like Money Matters, through the American Payroll Association, some of the things we're talking about. And also getting people making politics sexy, simple, and smart.
Separating himself from the Bronx Chamber, Payne plans to continue his mission to rebrand the Bronx with his own startup company, Marcus Payne and Associates. This is Nancy Asiyama, BronxNet.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Lindsay Violet. As you just saw, Marcus Payne is not someone who just has dreams. He's someone who takes actions to make those dreams reality. He's also someone who's known to be BronxNet and to Bronx businesses all over the borough. Please welcome former Bronx Chamber of Commerce employee Marcus Payne. Marcus, welcome.
Hey, good morning.
It's nice to see you.
Pleasure's mine.
Great. So you're an alum from Mercy College, right?
I am.
So can you give us a little backstory about Mercy College? Attending Mercy College?
Yeah, no problem,
And how it helped you venture
Yeah.
into the business field?
So it's funny, right? Because I always say that Mercy College chose me because initially I was going to go someplace else and I wanted to do
That's
advertising.
how it always happens.
Right? At the college, it comes for you. It's like, you, come here. And so I came, had a chance to do an admissions test, and it's probably 11:50. And they were like, well, in order to get in, you have to take admissions. I was like, oh, when's the next one? It was 12 o'clock. I said, what time is it now? So 11:55. I said, we're doing that one. And from that to then going to be part of the honors program here, to going to honors conferences, which really gave me a lot of confidence in speaking and kind of honing in craft, I guess. And it's funny in life, you don't know what things are preparing you for. You just kind of go through them, anticipating the next thing. And I became student body president here. Went on to work for the state senate in Albany as a senate intern. I was president of the senate interns while I was up there. Came back to the Bronx and tried to apply the stuff that I learned to improve our community. Worked for the Bronx Chamber of Commerce as a director of merchant services. Then I became director of membership. And I became director of operations. And I was like, okay, we're kind of progressing here. I think we got a good handle on this skill set. And fortunately, I've been able to branch out and create my own thing. Now I'm in a New York City choral program, doing a neighborhood leadership program, and it actually comes to an end on Tuesday, June 21st, and I'll be speaking at the graduation. So.
Oh, that's good. That's
Thank
really
you.
good. But how, I know you said you used to work at the Bronx Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Like, how did that help you develop as a person and become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, well, you know, the Bronx Chamber of Commerce facilitates the business growth for, you know, the businesses within the Bronx.
Yeah.
Kind of serves as a conduit. But, you know, I always tell anybody, if you're around something you love and you don't get kind of bit by that bug, then you're not doing it right. And so I was around it so much, and I would help all of these business owners, you know, achieve their goals, and businesses gross over 300,000 a year. And I was like, I helped you do that? Like me, I helped you do that? I was like, oh man, I need to do this for myself.
So that's what made you want to
leave.
it
helped motivate me. I really helped a lot of businesses, and I grew under the great Lenny Carroll of the Bronx Chamber of Commerce, former president. I learned a great deal under his tutelage, and you know, you learn everything. You learn, Senator Park used to say, you learn two things from every situation: what to do and what not to do. And from Lenny Carroll, I learned both. So I got a chance to see how it really worked out, and I used that education and a lot of those business contacts to kind of put myself on a good footing. And now I'm out here doing events, doing stuff that I really believe in. Through the chamber, I was on the Bronx Fatherhood Coalition board, so I help fathers in New York City. I was also on the American Cancer Society board, which has kind of led to me really fighting for cancer. We just had a successful football fundraiser in which we raised over $5,000 for American Cancer Society. And it was the first ever flag football tournament. We did it during the Relay for Life. It was called Relay Brings the Pain. Shout out to Sergeant Lorraine Perez. She did a great job. Gonzalez, excuse me. She did a great job. NYPD, FDNY, they won. I was, you know, we were on Instagram having a little battle saying who was going to win, and her team won the championship on a co-ed division. And then also, I like to recognize New Bronx City, my son Lennon, and now great group. They came out and they won on the all men's division. So I think that was a good start. And now they want to do the tournament citywide. So I think we're going to have a great thing going.
That's really, really good. So tell us about your business in particular. Talk about that.
Yeah, also too, I got to recognize Diana Arroyo. She's a big help, really big part of my business. She does a good job of conducting meetings and doing research for me. And I got to recognize, hello, Ari and Mommy, and Ari's mommy, Anna. That's my wave, special wave to them. Gotta say what's up to the family. Everybody supports you. But what we've been able to do at Marcus Payne & Associates is really focus on getting behind, connecting those that need to those that have. And we're a full-service consulting company. Yeah, full-service consulting company. We specialize in visibility under the principle that visibility plus credibility equals profitability. I can't do anything about your credibility, but I can make you visible. And through that, we both stand to make a profit. And we've been doing it successfully for nonprofit organizations so far, but hopefully we'll branch out. We just did a birthday party fundraiser / pop-up political event, and we did it at Essential 608. And I think that was kind of a chance to see all the facets of the company at work. You know, we help a business, Essential 608, get some visibility because BronxNet came. Thank you, BronxNet and Nancy. Special thanks to Nancy coming out there, and they taped, so they got some visibility on that end. Then the gentleman whose birthday it was, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Jazzy Jeff from Co-op, we did a nice little event for him, so we got a chance to do the networking component. We brought a lot of my good friends, people were there exchanging business cards, and then hopefully we'll do some stuff for a greater cause next, and that's what we like to do.
So you would say that was that's your inspiration, basically helping the community.
Yeah, I'm part of the New York City Choral Program, and one thing we talk about in neighborhood leadership is if there is something missing from your community, you have to see that as an opportunity. And I see this venture as an opportunity to fill in a lot of the blanks that we have in our community. Even right now, I'm working with on a plan with the Fordham Road bid, and I'm gonna tell you guys first. This is breaking news. This is breaking. We're gonna work on a plan to change the Fordham Road signs. There's 2 signs on Fordham Road. They say "Welcome to Fordham Center." These signs have been there since 1972.
Oh, okay.
I'm working.
It's due for a change.
It's due for a facelift. We're gonna put a digital sign there. I actually just got a grant from the New York City Choral Program as part of my completion of the program. I'm gonna use some of the funds, the majority of all of the funds, to help fix and renovate that sign. And I think it's gonna be a beautiful thing for the Bronx. It's gonna almost, if you consider Fordham Road to be the heart of the Bronx, like I do, because it's our largest commercial district, if we could put in a digital sign, I think it would make the entire neighborhood feel rejuvenated. I think it'll be an inspiration for the community. We'll have some Wi-Fi, maybe some Metro North schedule on there, and instead of people looking down and trying not to, take in the eyesore, hopefully they'll look up and keep their heads to the sky and see something great.
So for those that want to get involved, how can they get information?
Yeah, so Marcus Payne and Associates, we have a Facebook page, of course, Marcus Payne and Associates. Anybody could be an associate. You can be an associate. I like to think BronxNet are associates because they've been very kind to helping us promote what we do. Yeah, but I definitely have a phone number. I have an email. I have a cool card. Who can I give it to? Can I give it to you over here? Can I give it to you?
Sure,
can we zoom in on it? All right, so that's MPNA. We connect those that need to those that have. Got a cool little email, marqpayne@gmail. And this is only the beginning. Then make sure everybody goes to our Facebook. We keep that updated. We had our post up. Our Instagram and our Twitter are definitely good ways to kind of keep abreast of what we have going on. I'll be doing my graduation from my choral program on Tuesday, June 21st. I'm the first person to be unanimously selected to speak at that, so I'm feeling like Steph Curry. And I think we're gonna I definitely like to give a shout out to my choral people because they are very inspiration to me. It's a cohort of about 20 or so individuals, executive directors, people from various parts of the communities in Brooklyn, the Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, even Queens, represented in this one kind of group, and we're all working to improve.
It's cool that everybody can all come together.
Yeah, and learn, man, and learn. So I think the future is bright. I think this is a great time. I think we have a lot of momentum. We're gonna do an art exhibit in the fall. Hopefully we might do it right here in Mercy College. I would love to bring it back to my alma mater if I can. A really great South African artist, and he does some great work, so I would like to bring it here.
Okay.
And
so
Bronx Fashion Week in the fall, children's fashion show.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, I think about that a lot. In 5 years, I see us, we have already put that Fordham Road sign up. I see the American Cancer Society, the Relay Brings the Pain football tournament. I see it going on this 5th year, celebrating behind that. See us in a nice building somewhere in this Hutchinson Metro Center, a nice office. Bringing in some Mercy alums to work for us and within it, and doing the best that we can do to improve our community.
I think that's really awesome. Do you have any lasting words that you want to say?
I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been very helpful throughout this process so far. It's been a joy to see so many contacts that I've made in my professional life to now come into play right now. I mean, even your executive producer, Nicole, just knowing her from when she was an anchor to now doing on the show. And I think it's a beautiful thing, and I love seeing the growth that's happening around us. So.
That's good. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
We would like to have you on again.
Me too. Okay? We have a recap. The Bronx is booming.
We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
I already knew that I was gonna go to college, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science. After that, I'm gonna get my law degree. Then I'm gonna come back to Detroit, boost the economy, become the mayor or something, try to make the situation better for other people. I feel like I owe it to the city. I'm determined. It's gonna happen. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back. Community members and leaders gathered to say enough is enough to violence. BronxNet, Nancy Anciama, has the story.
Bringing awareness to gun violence in our boroughs brought together city officials and community members to have conversations they say will bring a different approach to empower youths and save lives. The crowd at the 3rd annual Guns Down Life Up Assembly on West 116th Street in Harlem was like no other, with organizations and community leaders coming together to find ways to put an end to gun violence.
Gun violence, we have decided and understand, is a public health initiative. And we feel like the hospital's response in this work is particularly important.
It being Gun Violence Awareness Month, doctors from New York City hospitals spoke about the victims they were unable to save from gunshot wounds as city leaders shared new ideas. Cleveland City Councilman Zach Reed was among the leaders who shared new ways to approach the senseless shootings.
We're never going to be able to arrest our way out of this problem. We're never going to have enough police officers on the street on every corner to arrest our way out of this problem of violence in our community. We got to find a different and better solution. And one of the solutions that I've heard around the country, whether it's here in New York or in San Francisco or Chicago, Baltimore, is this public health model.
With gun violence being a major concern in Harlem, Manhattan's Borough President's office came to the assembly with a powerful message.
We want people to feel empowered, that they can do something to make a difference and make a change in their communities, that gun violence is not something that's just relegated to one part of our society. It's something that all in the community need to play a role in.
Community-based organizations like Stand Against Violence East Harlem play an important role in the mission to end gun violence, and according to the organization's leaders, this is a fight that cannot be fought alone.
Overall, we definitely need more support from our elected officials and more funding for organizations.
We are aware that gun violence has become the norm of our community, and we want to change that. So we can't change it ourselves. We need the help of the community, of our peers, of the elected officials in order to change these community norms.
Changing the community norms will take an entire village, and it's a change these folks cannot wait to see happen. This is Nancy Anciama, BronxNet.
Well, that's all the time we have left. We want to thank our guests that participated in today's show, and to you, the viewer, for staying tuned to Open University. And remember to give as you can, do as you can, and love as you can. I'm your host, Lindsay Violet. Until next time.
Hi, I'm David Lesh, legal correspondent to the morning show Open. If you have a legal question that you'd like me to answer, please send me an email at davidlesh@bronxnet.org, and I will address it on our Ask Your Lawyer segment.